Have you ever looked around your home and thought this was perfect when we moved in, but we've completely outgrown this space? Maybe your family has grown, maybe your life has shifted in a direction that you did not expect, or maybe you're just ready for something that actually matches who you have become. See, I can connect with that on so many levels. You know that deep down there is no resale home on the market that's going to give you exactly what you need. And let me tell you, I can resonate and connect with that on so many levels, okay? And that's exactly where my little sister was. She and her husband had been in their home for years. They loved it, it served them well, but then life changed. Our parents recently relocated from Pennsylvania to Virginia, and suddenly they found themselves needing something completely different. A home that could hold all of them. A home that was built for this new season that they were walking into and not the last season that they were in. And when they realized that what they needed did not exist on the market, I said, let's go build it. So of course they called me. And y'all, not only am I their real estate agent, I'm their family, which means I am the most invested person in this entire process. And listen, I'm gonna bring every single one of you guys along with me for the ride. Are you ready to go on this new construction tour with me? Hey friends, I'm Sonali Hutson. I'm a real estate agent and listing specialist, and I serve buyers and sellers in Hampton Roads, Virginia, Henrico County, the greater Richmond area, and all up and down that I-64 corridor. And today I'm pulling back the curtain on something really personal. My sister is building her forever home right in Chesterfield with finer homes at Reedy Springs, and I am her agent through the entire process. I want to give you an honest behind the scenes look at what this process actually feels like from the inside. The decisions, the conversations, things that sometimes people are not going to tell you because maybe they forgot. And I may just bring you along as the build progresses, because I think watching it happen in real time is going to be way more valuable than anything that I could just sit here and describe to you. You want to come along with me on this journey? Then let's get into it, okay? Now here's why this matters for you specifically. If you are a move up buyer, an upsizer is what you're called, sitting in a home that no longer fits your life, if you're thinking about a new construction home but you have no idea where to start, or if you're wondering whether you can even afford to build while you still own your current home, then this series is going to answer a lot of those questions in a way that no brochure or no model home tour is ever going to answer for you. So make sure that you stay tuned and keep watching for all of the videos. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Now, before we dive in, comment the word finer homes below this video, and I'll send you my free buyer's guide that breaks down everything you need to know about building with finer homes as a builder. Now, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss a single update as this build progresses, because y'all, we're gonna be selling her current home and building a new home at the same time. So pray for me, okay? So let me start with a question I get all the time from move up buyers. How do you even do this? How do you even build a new home when you still own your current home? Because here's what most people don't realize, and this is one of the most important things that I want you to take from this video. You don't have to figure this out alone, guys, and you don't have to manage all of these moving parts with all types of different people, okay? My sister is selling her current home. I'm listing it. I've done the research. I've priced it competitively, and I'm getting her ready to max out her equity. And at the same time, I'm sitting next to her at every single meeting with her builder, making sure that she is protected as she buys her forever home. See, that's what a full service agent actually looks like. You've worked too hard to build equity in your current home to just leave money on the table. And you've waited too long for your next home to walk into that process without someone who is fighting for you on both sides. Now, here's the thing about finer homes. A lot of people in the Chesterfield area know the name, but they don't really know the story behind this builder. Beyond the beautiful designs and the neighborhood, their story is actually what made my sister and brother-in-law say yes to the address. Finer Homes is a family-owned Class A custom builder that has been building in Chesterfield County and the surrounding Richmond area since 1981. Y'all, that's over 40 years in one market. They were founded by Clay and Sue Holt, and this is still very much a family operation. Now, we're working directly with Mr. Greg Holt, the builder himself, and his daughter Sally Holt is the agent and the broker. So when you're working with a national production builder, you are a file moving through a system. A lot of times you're just a number. Decisions get made, timelines can shift, and half the time you can't get the same person on the phone twice. But with Finer Homes, you're sitting across the table from the actual family whose name is on every home that they build. And I love that, okay? The accountability is not a marketing line, it's real, and it shows up in the way that they work. They carry an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau, which is absolutely phenomenal, okay? They've been accredited with the Better Business Bureau since 1994. And listen, let me tell you, I do my research on every single builder I work with because my name is attached to every recommendation I make, and Finer Homes pass that Sonali test, okay? Especially for my family. Their foundation, the longevity, and the personal nature of how they build is something that I genuinely respect. And here's what I want you to understand about how Finer Homes actually works, because this is where they are different from a lot of builders in this price range. Now, we sat down directly with Greg and Sally and we went through every single detail of the home together. The added square footage, every light fixture, every ceiling fan placement, the exterior colors, the siding, the flooring, all of it. My sister actually took the study that was on the main floor, turned it into a private suite for our parents, added square footage, added a full bath, made it a space where they could have their own dignity and their own privacy within this family home. Now, my sister, like me, she is extra. She done moved some walls, she opened up areas that mattered most to her, and the whole family sat through every single one of those conversations with patience and intention. Now, the only costs we discussed separately were like the garage details. She wanted a side entry garage instead of a front entry garage, and she wanted a separate garage door, and that had some additional pricing, but the overall experience of customizing her home felt really collaborative and not transactional. I've been in situations where it wasn't a collaboration and the builder was saying no, and a family making a decision is big, and how they feel about it matters more than what people realize. Now, let me tell you about this woman, my sister, okay? Because like I said, she is just like me. She is extra and she's going to demand the best. She did not just pick a floor plan and say, okay, let's go, y'all do what y'all want to do. No, honey, she chose the creme de la creme, the Magnolia, which is over 3,200 square feet. She added more square feet. It's 5 bedrooms, 2.5 baths, a 2-car garage, a main floor study that she converted, and a stunning balcony overlook upstairs. And then again, she made it completely her own. She turned it into a 6-bedroom home with first floor living for our parents and updated the standard features by adding her personal swag to other interior elements. And what I loved about Finer Homes is they gave her the grace and the space to do this. Because for real, when you are building a home where your parents are going to live with you, everything matters. Every hallway matters. The flow of the home is going to matter in a completely different way than it does when you're just buying a home for yourself, okay? Does that make sense, friends? Now, that customization, the level of thoughtfulness is exactly what Finer Homes made possible for them. They didn't make her feel like she was being difficult. They sat with her, they worked through it, and they built a plan that actually reflects how her family is going to live. And that's the experience that you deserve when you're making one of the biggest financial decisions of your life, and especially when you're building a custom home. After the contract was signed, we went into the design meeting, and y'all, if you've never been through a new construction design meeting, I want to prepare you right now, because it is a beautiful kind of overwhelming, okay? We are talking about interior colors, lighting fixtures, every outlet, where they are placed. I'm talking every cable connection, where every TV is going to be mounted, where the lamps are going to go, every detail in every room from start to finish. So here's what you need to understand before you have your own interior design meeting. The decisions that you make there are decisions that live in your home for years. So it's not the time to be underprepared. It's not the time to feel like you're going to get rushed, and it's absolutely not the time to be sitting in that room with someone who understands. Okay, so back to where my sister is. Now, their lot has been selected. They're currently clearing the lot right now. And when we stood at the lot together and watched the clearing begin, something about that moment felt like so much more than a transaction. It felt like a family that was stepping into their new season together. My parents, my sister, my brother-in-law, my nieces, everyone moving towards something bigger, something more intentional, something that they built on purpose. And friends, that's what stewardship looks like in real life. That's the outside of your life finally starting to match the inside. Now, let's talk about something that a lot of agents don't really want to touch, and that's the preferred lender conversation, because this is where I've seen buyers lose a lot of money without realizing it was happening. So a lot of time, builders, almost every builder is going to have their preferred lender. And what happens is that they attach incentives to that relationship, like closing cost credits, rate assistance, things that look very attractive when you're already excited and emotionally invested in your new home. And I want to be fair, the preferred lender is not always the wrong choice. But here's what you need to understand about how that relationship works beneath the surface, okay? Go in informed about who the preferred lender is. So the preferred lender at Finer Homes has been working with them for a while. They have an established relationship. It's a very comfortable relationship, and it's protected. And when a lending relationship gets that comfortable, what can happen, and I've seen this happen, is that the lender's focus can shift from doing what's absolutely best for you, the buyer, to maintaining that partnership that keeps them inside the builder's world as the preferred lender. And those are two completely different priorities, and one priority is not looking out for you as a buyer. This is why I don't just hand my clients off to the preferred lender and then disappear. I stay all up in the mix, okay? I compare numbers, I read every document, I ask the hard questions, and I don't care if the lender does not like me, because when something does not look right for my client, I'm gonna say it, even when it's uncomfortable, even when it creates friction, even when it would be easier to just go go along with it, because my job is not to protect the builder's process. My job is not to protect the lender's feeling. My job is to protect my client, my buyer, and especially my sister. And that's a distinction that matters every single time. See, I've been in situations where I've had to push back on a lender partner, not because they were doing something wrong or unethical, but because they had gotten what I thought was comfortable. They got so comfortable with their builder relationship that they stopped advocating the way that a buyer deserves to be advocated for. And as your agent, noticing that and speaking up is not optional for me. That is my job, and I take my job really seriously, okay? So the bottom line, friends, is that the builder's agent works for the builder. They don't work for you. That person in the model home, they are kind, they know the product, they want the process to go smoothly, they know the ins and outs, and that can be great, but their loyalty is to the builder. And you deserve someone whose loyalty is entirely to you. Someone who's going to read the contract before you sit down to sign it. Someone who's at the design meeting asking you the questions that you did not know to ask. Someone who is watching the lender's numbers and making sure that they're offering you the right program and making sure that those incentives are actually working in your favor, not going to hurt you a few years down the line. Someone who's also helping you sell your current home, protect your equity in that home, and time everything so that you're not caught in between two transactions without a solid game plan. And that's what I do, friends. That's what I do for my sister. That's what I'm doing for my sister. And that's what I do for all of my clients, and what I absolutely want to do for you. So if you're a move-up buyer in the greater Richmond area, in Chesterfield, in Henrico, in Hampton Roads, or anywhere along that I-64 corridor, and you're ready to stop settling and start building your next season, you can text me at 757-837-0096. Let's talk about where you are, what you need, and how we get you there. And if you want my guide on Finer Homes so you can learn everything about this local builder, it's a free guide. I want you to get the guide, comment Finer Homes below so you can walk into a meeting with them prepared and protected. Now, I'm going to be back every single month until we close on this house with real photos, real updates, and the honest truth about how the build is going. So it better not go left, okay? Because you deserve to see this process in real time and not just hear about it 3 or 4 years later, okay? So I want you to make sure that you stay tuned. Friends, thank you so much for watching my channel. Your support absolutely means the world to me. I am big on resources, so make sure you click the links in the description so that you can stay educated on all of the things that are happening in the Virginia real estate market. And like I said, all you have to do is get in touch. There's no pressure to buy, no pressure to sell, but let's connect and see if I'm going to be the right fit for you. You can reach me at 757-837-0096, and I'll see you in the next video. God bless you, friends.